What's up, everybody? It's episode 9 of Life's a Garden. Welcome back to another edition of Life's a Garden. Today's guest is a local musician, singer, and songwriter. He happens to be the only person I've ever been in any of my bands with, and he is in the current band that we're in is Cutthroat. Welcome to the show, Justin Senger.
How you doing? It's good to be here.
Yeah.
It's good to be on the show.
About time, right?
Yeah.
Been waiting to have somebody from the band on the show. It's just been scheduling and stuff. I haven't been able to
Right,
get
yeah.
it. I wanted to do it, I think, as my third guest, and something happened where it just didn't work out. And then last week I had the birthday show, so
Right, yeah.
I wanted to have it this week.
No, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, it worked out.
It's been a good timeline.
Yeah, and eventually, like you said, I'm gonna have, I will have everybody in the band on. So hopefully we can use this as like almost a get to know the band members type of thing. So like,
Right.
because I plan on putting it on the band page. I'll put it on my page obviously and share it to your page too. So
Yeah, no, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
So first off, you want to break the news? We already broke it kind of, but you want to break it on the podcast?
Our show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cutthroat is playing our first show August 22nd at the Tap In with Fake News. What time do we go on? I don't actually.
Well, I'm trying to get us to go on at 6 because Drew works till 5.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. I mean, if worst case scenario, maybe somebody can cover for Drew, or I mean, I'm sure we can make it work where we can get it done at like either 5:30 or 6.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to rush Drew either. Like that sucks having to go from work straight to playing music.
Right, yeah. No kidding. And
But
you
I
know,
mean, worst case,
sure.
we can get all of his equipment and our equipment over there sound checked. You know,
Yeah.
before
That's true.
I know the event starts at 5, so.
Yeah.
But maybe event starts at 5. We can do music at 6.
Yep.
We'll just play through our set, and then Fake News can play however long they want.
And it's gonna be outside.
Yes,
Right.
It's definitely outside. I don't have confirmation if it's going to be in the trailer thing or if we're doing a different setup. I don't know any of that, but
Interesting.
it's definitely outside in the parking lot.
Yeah. Be good to get there and check it out. And
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I haven't played a live show in 5-6 years.
yeah, that's a long time.
I know.
That's the last one I played with you.
Well, yeah.
That was like, gosh, was that 2016 at the rail yard?
I thought it was like 2015.
And
or
then
something
I
like
think
that.
we played one in 2014,
Yeah.
and that was our last one. And then we did a reunion show 2 years later. But maybe I'm wrong on the dates.
It was
something.
It's been like 5 years.
Yeah.
And even then, before that show, that was only like the first show in a year before that.
Yeah.
That I'd played.
No, it was.
So it's been a while. I'm not really nervous because I don't know. I'm used to it at this point. Like it's gonna be kind of nerve-wracking, I guess, once I'm up there.
Yeah.
But I'm confident in what we have.
Right.
I'm confident in our material and just playing with you guys. And
Yeah. You know, definitely like when it's a new band and it's your first show, it's a little bit like, what's it gonna happen? How's it gonna go? Like, you know, there's gonna be cobwebs and you gotta get things going and get it going like, gotta have a first show sometime and there's gonna be things to work through, and then I've never played at that venue. No, I know no one else has.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's definitely one I didn't expect. But at this point, I'll play anywhere.
Right.
You know, like, just to get live music out there again, just to play. Just to get some experience under our belt as a live,
Right.
you know, playing live and stuff.
Because we were supposed to play in March.
Mm-hmm. The week of.
Yeah, and then we had to cancel it because of the shutdown.
It was like right when everything happened.
Right when we were getting ready to start playing live shows and get rolling on that.
And if outdoor venues are the only venues available right now, those won't be available for long. You know, like, it's going to get cold soon.
Yeah, no, it's got to happen now. But you know, it gave us a chance to write some more songs and
True.
practice a little bit more. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really digging the new songs, too.
Yeah, me too.
Plus, we got that other one that we really haven't been like working on.
Right. Yeah, no, that one will be good. I'm excited for that one. I really was feeling that one.
Yeah, we've got quite a few. I mean, how many? We wrote 2, right?
We wrote 2, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Rembrandt and Outlaw that we added to the list.
And they're both coming along really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
I know Drew really likes Outlaw, he said.
Sweet.
So.
Yeah, I'm glad.
And we switched. I mean, we changed a few things in certain songs too to, make them better.
Yeah,
We've really tightened down all the other songs.
Still like tweaking everything, and it's definitely different. Like being in a band with 5 people as opposed to like 3 or 4 or whatever, or 2 what I'm used to. Like you got a lot of people to like work parts with and keep on tempo and make everything fit together nicely and get on the same page. It definitely is a rewarding feeling.
Yeah, I've never. This is
to have that many people.
Every band I've been in has only been 4.
Yeah.
And so, no, I guess technically, Suburban was 5, huh?
Yeah, it was.
But
I think.
But I wasn't really in that for that long,
No.
so it doesn't really feel like I've been a part of that.
Right. Yeah, it's usually just been the one guitar player thing, but now we have 2, which is really cool because I can really just do the rhythm guitar thing, and Drew has all kinds of things he can do that are far and beyond what I can do, and it's awesome.
Well, and I love that everybody in the band is so like just they're perfect for their position.
Yeah,
like they do their job correctly and like know how, and they're seasoned at what they do.
For sure.
Everyone knows how to do what they do really well, and so therefore, bass has its own part while rhythm does its own part, and the lead is flying over the top. Drums are doing its thing.
Right.
Like everything has its own unique piece, and it makes it just like a special song, just special art.
It's nice that everybody in this band has so much like musical experience and background. Like even Lucas on drums, like he's done guitar and singing in other bands, so he like understands how to song structure things. And Aaron's got tons of experience in bands, and Drew just, even though this is his first band, his like guitar playing skills definitely like pretty high up there.
Yeah, you would never know. You would never know he'd never played in a band before.
Never.
He gelled real quick because he's got good people skills too. Like he works with customers all day and stuff, so he knows how to like work with people.
Right.
So
it's a nice change to have a band with some mature attitudes instead of the some like immature like high school things that we've been through. But.
For sure, yeah. No, it's nice where not everybody's trying to kick each other out and trying to immediately make changes and
it's nice when you just like go with what you have and you make it work and
well, like I said, it helps when everybody's already just so good at what they do. And this band, another thing about this band, and when I say any band I've been in, obviously like I said, you've been in every band that I've been in. So any band we've been in the past, it seems like unlike every band we've been in the past, this one just kind of does whatever we want. You know what I mean? Like we have so many different songs.
I like that.
I do too. And it's just, but they're not different enough where you can't tell they're from the same band.
It's definitely like we have a genre, but we didn't ever set out to like be a specific thing. We just like let it happen.
We're not like a one key, like where everything's in one key or like the same few keys.
And we used to spend so much time trying to find band members and try people out, and this band just came together.
I can't believe how it was so bizarre how it gelled. Like,
finding everybody, it was just like they were all there and we had it.
Yeah, because you knew Lucas. Lucas was your connection, and then I knew Drew from work.
Yeah.
And then Aaron like had just moved here a year before from Nevada. Mm-hmm. It's just like it was so, and so if I never went to work at Toyota, we would have never found Drew.
No.
And how did you like
Lucas?
Because he's just been in the scene.
I just know him from the music scene, and I hit him up to jam once, just just for fun and try to like. It was a couple other guys I jammed with, and it kind of didn't really work out. But then I got to see that he was like a good drummer and like a cool guy, and I just had him on my mind for like the first person I wanted to ask for drummer.
And it's like
when we needed
perfect.
It. Yeah, I know.
He's got a great jam spot too. Like he's got his own place. We don't have to deal with like other people like
for sure
trying to like disrupt other people and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
So plus on top, you know, and like you said with Lucas, he's just an all-around musician. He's sang and done guitar, and he understands how to structure a song. Right. I think everyone kind of does.
Well, even the newest song we wrote, like, he kind of was showing me an idea on guitar, and I used that to, like, kind of base that song off of.
That's another thing,
really,
too.
He's helped us in the songwriting process in that way, too.
Yeah, all it takes is one person just starting whatever they've come up with, and then everyone else just kind of gels on it. I feel like we could literally write an album in 2 weeks if we were forced to.
Yeah, for sure.
If we spent 8 to 12 hours a day every day for 2 weeks, we could write a full album.
Right. I mean, a lot of our songs, it was just one little simple thing, and then we build a whole song off of it because everybody has their places they go, and in the beginning we did kind of try to like have people play certain things and kind of get that going because we already had some songs ready, but now we just let everyone do their thing, and it just kind of comes together.
Right, and
which is lucky.
For me, I've had problems in the past writing lyrics to music, like which is the typical way of doing it. The music comes first, and then you write the lyrics to the song. Whereas, and the way we've done it before is I'll write the music and the melody, or like the lyrics and the melody, and then you come up with the music on top of that, which is a very difficult way of doing it.
It is, yeah.
But we've made it work too. I mean, it works both ways.
Yeah. But
with this band, everyone can write the music, and it, for some reason, I don't know what it is, I'm so much better at like writing. I don't know if it's been time or if it's just something in this band. Maybe. But I can write lyrics and melody on this band, on anything this band writes, really well. And then there's some of the best lyrics I've ever come up with and the best songs.
Sure.
So,
I agree.
Like Rembrandt is one of my favorite. Like has some of my favorite lyrics in it. Same with Killing Ghost
and Divine Intervention.
That's
one of my favorite like lyrical songs that you've written. And yeah, it might have something to do with the type of music we're playing or just the vibe of all the guys, but I feel like you are comfortable enough to like take that leap with like singing melodies and writing lyrics on top of music that already exists, and I know how hard that is to like do stuff like that and like feel comfortable to do it. So that's awesome that we can like find that.
Yeah, I definitely, it's rewarding, and it feels really nice to be able to do that, just because I've always wanted to be able to do that, and I always thought something was just some reason I couldn't do it. Something's different though. Like there's a reason I can do it now. So something's changed. No matter what it is, I'm happy it happened because I really like writing songs that way.
It's just like a different creative like avenue. Like you can open up different doors doing it like that way.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been trying to think of certain questions that I want to ask every member of the band as I have them on the show.
Right.
And one I will ask now is what is your favorite like concert moment or live performance moment for yourself? Like what are maybe not the one, like what are a couple of them? A couple of your just like favorite moments that stand out to you as you're playing live, you know what I mean?
Playing live? I think one of them for sure is with Calamity, with me and you, when we played at the Cine 7, the old movie theater.
That was easily our best show.
That was so cool. I don't know what just the vibe of that show. It was in that old movie theater, so it felt like a legit venue.
The stage setup was really nice. The sound was really good.
And I just remember feeling like the stage was awesome, and like the room was just packed. And like we had everybody and the whole crowd in the palm of our hand, and you'd give a speech and we were like jamming behind it, and I could just feel everybody like getting into it.
That was probably the first time I ever, like, when talking to the crowd, I actually got responses, and like
Right?
I could see it in people's eyes, like they were actually listening. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was kind of hitting them in a little bit. So that was really fun. Yeah.
That was definitely like
We were getting people on stage.
a real like feeling.
Yeah, we got people to mosh, and like people were doing it without even us telling them to. You know, like that's how the music was hitting them.
Right.
So, and then yeah, we were getting people on stage.
Yeah, no, and yeah, we brought people on stage to like jump with us on the last song, which was, I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be corny, but it was.
It worked out
cool.
really
It
well.
was-
And on top of all that, we actually got to play a full set, the one and only time in that band that we got to play a full set.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Any other? Because that's, I will say that's my number one.
Oh no, I love that one.
Because you know I don't have that many, but that's definitely like up there as like probably my number one. Just because, like you said, of how great
Right.
a vibe that show was.
I think for me, playing in like Salt Lake City.
Oh yeah.
Was pretty cool. Like, I remember just like having really nervous backstage because I'd never played a show that big before, and I was standing like on the side, and they had to like bring us up in an elevator, and they're telling us like, oh, you know, Wiz Khalifa did a music video in here, and we're like getting pulled up to like get ready to go play, and I mean it was a cool show. I just remember like telling everybody like, you know, who we were, and we're from Billings, Montana, and people lost it. Like the crowd was like cheering like
Really?
right away. Like after the first song, people were losing it.
That's pretty cool.
That like I said we were from Billings, Montana, and I was like, that's actually cool. Like,
yeah.
like they thought that was cool.
They didn't like groan or nothing.
No, like they thought it was like legit that we like made it from there,
That's awesome.
or like, you know, we were just out of town or whatever. But like playing all these local shows like is a different feeling than that, and I barely got a taste of what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
But it just kind of like showed me like people look at us different than they look at a local band,
Right.
and it was just cool to experience.
Was that the best one on that tour? The Salt Lake City one?
Yeah,
Or was that the first one?
That was the first one. Denver was definitely pretty cool, but just for some reason, with everything involved, Salt Lake City was the best.
Right on.
Like, there was a lot of people, and it was a bigger venue, and it was just like, I don't know, just the vibe of it was very cool, and like getting brought on stage to sing with the headlining band
Right on.
was pretty cool.
That is pretty
and
cool.
I told him before that what my favorite song was from them, and that I really loved it and all this, and he was like, well, you should sing it with me. And I was like, okay, like, whatever.
Didn't think that might actually happen.
So I was standing and watching them from the side, like backstage, and he looks at me and he's like called me on stage.
Did your heart sink or
I was
what?
like, oh my god, like I did. And then when I came out, the crowd started cheering, and I sang the last two choruses.
Which
with
band
them.
was it again?
Stabbing Westward.
That's right.
Yeah. So that was really cool, and it was cool to experience that with them. I know we were really lucky to get that experience.
Sure.
And, you know, who knows if I'll ever experience anything like that again. I'm just glad I got to.
Hey, I mean, yeah, there's only so many chances in a lifetime that you get to do certain things.
Right.
And, I mean, that whether that's the only time you get to do that or the first time, you know what I mean?
Right?
It's still a special moment no matter what.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Like, definitely with a lot of the shows I've played, there's different things that make a show cool, or what feels cool about it, or like you realize, okay, this is why I'm doing this. Like, and different bands have different feelings. Like, I don't know, it's just interesting. Like, bands we've done have really been like high on my list for like what I really believe in and what I can get behind and stuff like that. But, you know, for me being a front man, which I'm not used to, it's like, oh, it's on me now. Like, I'm just used to being the guitar player or the bass player, and now I'm like, I gotta say stuff to the crowd. I'm used to D. Craig doing it.
Doing crowd work it's interesting. Like, I feel like I've done okay in the past. I think I can do better, but like, you learn with every show. You know, you learn different techniques and different ways to read the crowd.
Right.
And,
no, but I always thought that you were good at it, and I always looked up to you about it. But when we did our first band together, I remember that you were into doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we would rehearse a show rehearse for a show like it was
dude,
a show.
we used to have that projector screen.
Yeah, and we had a projector when we projected a picture of a crowd,
Yeah.
and we faced it in the room, and we would have a jam behind while you were like giving a speech, and we'd get more intense with
We've
anything
always
you
done that
sang.
in every band.
But I loved that, and even like that band, and just like other things that we've done, like just like the meaning behind the lyrics, I just really feel it, and just that's always a good goal to shoot for in my mind when I would do music.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, I'm glad that it comes off that way, because that's how you want it to come off, you know?
Right.
You want it to come off meaningful. And
so would you say like you were inspired by maybe more like Shinedown or Disturbed for those like ideas?
Shinedown, probably, for sure, because he's just so good at... I've seen him so many times,
Really?
and like every time they do something like that, it's just he's really, really good at captivating you and like catching your attention and making you listen to what he has to say, and you really feel it and stuff. And David Draymond too is another good one at that, but I think Brent Smith is definitely where I got that from.
I know I've seen him twice, and I know you've seen him like more than me. I don't know how many times.
Like 7 times.
7 times.
Yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Like I definitely feel like that too when I've seen them.
Yeah.
Like it's like a theatrical like show interactive like experience.
Yeah.
So it's cool to like shoot for that.
And I've seen shows too where, you know, they'll just play through and then they'll do a little bit of a break where it's like, hey, thanks to so and so for coming out, joining us on this tour,
Right.
and thanks for you guys coming out. But it's just simple stuff. It doesn't have to be like dramatic, and it works too.
Yeah.
So you can do it several ways.
Yeah, and it depends, you know, on how much time you have and whether you're headlining and just different things. But
And one thing's for sure, that's a big deal too. One thing's for sure, I've seen people do it badly too, and that sticks well. That'll stick in your head too, and you don't want that either.
right, it's kind of like bombing as being a stand-up comedian or
For sure.
something. Like, and I've experienced a lot of like growing pains with like talking on the mic, and I've had times where I just fumble over my words like bad, and I'm just like embarrassed, like. But I've had a lot of embarrassing moments on stage.
Okay, there's a good one. Let's transition to that one. How about?
Do you have any?
Let me think while you tell yours.
Okay. I mean,
because I'm sure here's.
You got some.
I actually talked about it on one of the other podcasts.
Okay.
But forgetting the lyrics on stage of my own song, and then on top, and then doubling down on that, and telling everybody that I fucked up, even though they don't know.
Never, especially originals, right?
Right, and it's like you just panic in that moment,
Right.
and it was dumb. And so looking back on that was bad.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another embarrassing one: the little kneel down and like
Kneeling to
just
the ground.
being really like over dramatic, like trying to act like.
But I love that though.
I do too, but I'm gonna do it in a less like.
Theatrical.
Yeah.
When it's like a local show and it's like the sound guy and the bartender and like
Maybe 5 people in the crowd.
your buddy, and then you're like, all right, everybody, rise up.
Yeah.
And there's
or
just
come
like,
on, let's get up here. You kind of just gotta gauge the crowd. If the crowd wants to sit, they're gonna fucking
Yeah,
sit.
there's only so much you can do at some of those shows.
Yeah.
Because
So-
I've had my voice crack severely. I've had like my guitar come out of tune so bad that I had to just not play it for like an entire song and just bomb the whole thing. I broke in a string, and then just the whole band waited for me to
I was there
change
for one
my
of those.
string. I've had my amp just die, but it didn't die. It just screeched the loudest screech ever, and it was like the last song, so I just shut it off and like mimed the rest of the show.
Damn.
Gosh, what else? Now I'm trying to think. Like,
you've had way more
embarrassing moments,
live show experiences
stage
than I have.
I mean, I've almost fallen, if not fallen. Definitely tripped.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah, I can't. I just don't have as many experiences, so it's hard for me to like.
The one I remember with you was definitely like my bass string breaking, and then everyone was just. I was changing it like lightning speed.
You did change that thing fast for what it is.
It took a little bit, but
it was impressive.
Yeah.
And then we had, but it was your E string, wasn't it?
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah, it was. It was either the B or the E, the lowest ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. But.
So there's no way you could have played a show without it.
Yeah. No, I had to change it, and I didn't have a backup with me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I could have just like ignored that string, but if we had one song left.
Right.
But I remember too, like when one of our bands we played a couple shows without a guitar player, so it was just drums.
Oh my god, dude!
And vocals, and it was like
that. Okay.
One of them was at Shooters, and the other was.
Did we do two of them?
Someone's it was at like the Porterhouse, like
You're
house
right.
show, basement show thing, and I remember somebody took a video of it, and I remember watching it and being like, why did we do that?
We're just so eager.
We were just so ready to get going, and like it just sounded like the bass was so quiet. It just sounded like singing and drums.
Yeah, that was rough.
And I was like full on like going all out, like just like I gotta make up for the fact that we don't have anybody.
Yeah, that was rough, man. The Shooters one, that'll go on my list of embarrassing things. It was so embarrassing I apparently blocked it out because
you forgot it.
Yeah, and then I remember Jason was there and he goes, "Not too bad for not having a guitar player," and he's like a guitar player, so of course he was like definitely judging the whole time, and he's a judgmental guy anyway. But
I don't know why we decided to do that.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking dumb. But it is what it is, right?
It's funny to look back on it.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think anybody's gonna be like, "Hey, you're that guy that played at Shooters 6 years ago without a guitar player." Ha ha ha.
Yeah. Until now. No, it was what it was. We've like I said, I forgot about it. It was that, and it was not like it was a packed house or anything like that.
Right.
It was just us getting our feet wet.
No, for sure. It was just experience and motivated us to get a guitar player.
Yeah, for sure. That's funny. I forgot about that. Who would you put in as like some of your inspirations musically?
Just like bands or
bands,
like
musicians, specific. Yeah.
I mean, as far as like recently and all time, I guess like my all-time favorite band is the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and then I really have liked Linkin Park too. Ever since they come out, and I've liked them more recently too. And then Starset, I really love Starset, and I have been lucky enough to see Starset once and the Chili Peppers once. Don't think I'll get to see Linkin Park.
Yeah,
since Chester and all that, but yeah, definitely those are like my all-time like three that I list as like my most influential.
Right on.
And obviously I love Flea as a bass player.
Mm-hmm.
And guitar player, I love John Frusciante from the Chili Peppers as well. Yeah, as far as artists go, those are, they come from those bands.
Yeah.
And stuff. I mean, recently I've been into like Cold or Bad Wolves.
Yeah, it's easy to draw inspiration from like anything you're currently listening to.
Yeah, Don Broco,
which definitely helps.
I mean, at this point, like, I even listen to like just random like pop stuff now.
Sure.
I don't even care. Guilty pleasure, fine.
You can get inspiration from anything,
right?
Like musically, like country, and I know I'm not a country fan, but like there's some country songs I'll still listen to.
Right.
But it's like if you're a fan of country, you can draw inspiration from that and like channel it into rock,
right?
To whatever.
And it's funny too, like, I even thought about this not that long ago. How much of my music playlist comes from, like, the Madden soundtracks or, like, Guitar Hero sound...
Just
like,
from games
yeah,
and
just
stuff.
from, like, hearing it so many times, playing those games, that you're just like, well, now I love this song.
There's songs I listen that I'll hear from old games, and it immediately is just like a...
nostalgic, like,
trigger, yeah. Like, you can immediately just imagine, like, the menu screen or something like that.
For sure.
You still playing games, or...
Oh gosh,
I haven't played a game in a while.
I haven't played a lot of video games anymore. I've just really been into Halo. Like, I played a ton of, like, Halo 4 and 5 multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had some friends talk me into getting Call of Duty Warzone.
I thought about
trying that. It's such a huge download. I had to
Really?
delete so many games to fit it because I don't have an external hard drive on my Xbox, but it's like Fortnite. It's like a battle royale game, and it's free, and it's really popular, I guess. I suck at it.
Yeah, maybe that won't be for me then. I just wanted, like, a first-person shooter. I was, like, craving a first-person shooter the other day, even though I have a few, but I wanted something, like, new.
Right.
And then, I don't know, I've just been so not into games lately.
Yeah, it's been hard for me, too. Like, if I can play a game and, like, listen to music at the same time, or just kind of relax, or, like, listen to YouTube, like, if it's something I really have to focus on, like a storyline and stuff, like, I just don't, I'm not into that, like, that much anymore.
Right. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I don't know what happened. Something, I just haven't really been into it. Maybe some point I'll... Because every now and again I'll get the itch to play, like, an old game, like Mario or something like that, and I'll just play that for the day.
Right.
But it's hard for me to get invested into, like, week-long, just, like, day after day after day playing game.
Right. Yeah.
So...
I get frustrated with, like, the story ones. Like, I was super excited to get Assassin's Creed, and I got it a few months ago. And I played it a few times, and then just kind of never touched it again. But
I don't think I'll ever pay full price for a video game ever again. Like, I'll only wait till they're
what
older.
are they, like, $60 or $70 now?
Yeah, that's not worth it to me because I know I'm not going to play it. You know what I mean?
And I have so many games that I haven't even touched yet. And, like, so many games you can find that are only a few years old, but they're new to me.
Sure.
And they're really cheap.
I have that same problem with, like, movies and shows anymore. Like, I just am so against putting my time into, like... Or it's not even I'm against it, I'm just hesitant to. It's like, I'll be sitting here with nothing to do, and I'll want to watch a show or a movie or something like that. Mostly a movie, but even then I'm not, like, willing to put 2.5 hours into just watching a full movie.
Right.
And what's funny about that is I would sooner watch, like, a 30-minute show, but I'll watch, like, 6 episodes of a 30-minute show, even though that's the same amount of time as a movie. So it's like I just want to invest my time into like a new movie. I have done it. It's just it varies by day.
Right.
And then I'm so hesitant to start, like, new series, especially, like, on Netflix.
A big thing you're, like, getting into.
Yeah, because they're, like, hour-long episodes, and then you have, you know, whatever, 8 to 12 episodes a season. And if you haven't started it already, then you got, like, 5 seasons to catch up on.
It's like, have you watched Stranger Things yet?
I have watched the first season.
Okay, yeah, but I bet, if, like, for people, if you haven't even started it, you're like, oh, there's 3 seasons, and they're all, like, an hour long, like...
See, and that'd
be a lot.
I watched the first season, and I did enjoy it. I thought it was really good. And I'd probably finish it eventually, but once the first season was done, I was kind of just like, okay, like, I just lost my interest.
Right.
And I'm so bad. I'm, like, the type of person that if I start it again, I'll want to watch the first season again and then go from there. But I need to force myself not to because it's such a waste of time.
Right.
Because what might end up happening is I'll just do the same thing. I'll just stop watching.
Right.
That's the same with, like, video games.
Yeah.
If I want to play a game, if there's, like, the third one and I haven't played that in a long time, I'll have the urge to play through the first 2 and then play the third one.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
I don't know what, like...
Or, like, the Marvel movies, you want to go through in order, and then... But it's like, just just pick one. Maybe.
Yeah, it's like yeah, exactly. Well, I did that the other day. I did pop in Arkham Origins.
Okay.
And just because that's the one I've only played once.
Right.
Because every time I try to play the Arkham series, I try to play it.
Oh, in the order.
Yeah, that they came out.
But that one actually is a prequel.
Exactly. So it makes more sense to start with that
and
one.
That's
anyway.
a good one too. I like that one.
Yeah. So but then again, I spent a day, not a full day. I spent like 3 or 4 hours playing it. Haven't played it since. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was the same. Like I said with Assassin's Creed, it's just like the last few years for me, like. Movies, TV shows, video games, everybody wants me to like play this game or watch this show, and I'm just like just want to listen to music and just relax. I don't know.
Well, and I do like getting hooked onto a series. If there's a series that catches me, I'm just not willing to try new things, like new series, and be like, well, let's give this a shot and like see if it catches me, and if it doesn't,
Or you're like me and something new comes out and everybody thinks it's cool and your first reaction is like, well, I hate that thing now.
I'm exactly that person.
I am too.
I'm 100% that person. Like I said, I only just watched Stranger Things for the first time like a couple months ago.
And I know like me and you have like that same feeling like even about like Minecraft, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember I was like, that's stupid. Minecraft's dumb. And then we both played it and we were like, well, this is the greatest thing ever. Let's make a castle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm very much like late to the game on a lot of things because like I didn't even get into Game of Thrones until season 7.
Jeez.
So
I still haven't.
Really, it's good until season 8.
Right.
But it is a good series up until then. And yeah, I didn't even get into it until season 7. And then there was, I've never played a game of Fortnite.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Fortnite. I always was like, I'm never gonna play that. That's dumb. And then like I had it downloaded somehow. Someone wanted to play it, and I'm like playing it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I suck at this, but here I go.
Yeah, see, that's just one I never got into. There's all kinds of stuff like that, like popular things that I just never get into. But like then you have the things like Marvel, where I was, that was one I was already into before it got really, really popular.
Right.
And so...
And then you have the opposite feeling. You're like, I was there first.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I feel about The Office.
Mm-hmm.
It's like once I had watched it through like a million times by like 2015, then it was on Netflix and everyone's like, The Office, The Office, The Office. And I was like, I was watching it like back in the day. Don't you even say anything.
Right.
I know all the quotes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm over it.
I remember feeling that way about Shinedown.
Oh,
okay. Like right when they were starting to get popular, like after Second Chance and that album came out, and they were starting to gain like some momentum, and everyone was starting to know them. I knew them for their first 2 albums, and I was like, I'm a journeyman of this band. Like, I've been with these guys since day one.
Since day one.
And it's like, you guys don't. You're posers. You get that feeling.
You do.
I even get that feeling about like YouTube videos I'm watching. Like if I get hooked on like a certain like YouTuber or something like that, or like certain comedians, like with podcasts. I listen to a lot of comedic podcasts, and it's like I want like it's almost like a jealousy thing. Like I'm the only fan of this, just because like you're the only fan of that. Like maybe in your friend group, but there's like millions of people that are fans of this, and it's like no, just me.
Right.
I feel like if I met like somebody that I'm like a big fan of on the streets, I could just go up to him and be like, "Hey, let's hang out." Like, I'm your fan. Mm-hmm. Just me. You know what I mean?
Remember when we met Pete from Chevelle?
I do remember
and
that.
That's what that reminded me of. I was like, I bought all your albums. I've been to 3 shows. I'm the Chevelle guy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that likes Chevelle. Everybody knows that Justin's the Chevelle guy. And I'm like the guy in Billings that likes Chevelle. And we were going to see them, and we were walking around the block, like around the venue, just killing time.
So randomly, too,
not standing in line. And him and the drummer were walking down the street right in front of the Crystal. And I was like, Pete, can I shake your hand? Or something like that. Something like not crazy.
Yeah, no. You were very calm, considering.
I was very calm. And he was just like, got fist bump. And I was like, what? And I was like, devastated.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know I don't know about this band anymore.
They weren't that bad.
No, they really weren't. But I still love that band.
I think they didn't expect to be noticed.
No, I don't think so. I think they were just going to, like, get a beer or get dinner.
I think they
or
got
something.
dinner or something.
Yeah,
I think,
the show.
if I remember right, he said he was kind of awkward about it, but he was just like, yeah, he fist bumped and he's like, you guys going to see the show? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, all right, we'll see you over there. And then, like, just left.
Now looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, I guess I can't blame them for, like, being that way. Like, what are they supposed to do? They're like, oh, yeah, you guys, give me a handshake and a hug.
Okay, well, two things about that. One, they probably didn't, like I said, they probably didn't expect to get noticed in that town. They're probably like, oh, cool, we're in a town, like, nobody's going to know who we are. And then here we are, like, hey, guys, you know?
Well, or by the venue.
Right, but at the same time, they're not exactly the kind of band that probably gets noticed a lot.
No.
You know what I mean?
They're, like, famous, but not famous enough to be, like people see his face on, like, the news.
I guarantee they could walk downtown LA or downtown, Seattle or Denver or anywhere big. No. And maybe 2 or 3 people, but doubtful. They look like just the most normal guys.
Yeah.
Unless you're like the biggest fan and like know their faces by heart.
But that was me.
I know. Well, I remember you said this guy looks like Pete, and I was like, yeah, he kind of does. And you go, no, it's Pete. Like that is Pete.
That's awesome. Though.
That was a really cool, like, just what are the chances type of moment.
I do regret not going to meet Bad Wolves, though, now.
Where was that at?
In Grand Forks, North Dakota. But
would they have a signing or something, or did they?
No, after they got done playing, and I didn't really know them at the time, and they got really famous from playing Zombie, and he was like, come say hi to us right now. Like, we're getting off stage, and we're going to go to our merch booth, and come meet us. And I was like, no, I came here to see Starset. They're up next. I have to push my way to the front now.
Oh, you're on the floor, though.
Yeah.
See, that makes sense, though. But it's hard to beat yourself up on that one.
Especially because I did get to meet Starset, so I was happy.
Sure. I mean, option's still out there for you to maybe meet them someday.
Maybe someday. I'll try.
If we ever get to have live music again.
Yeah, that's true. I could have a virtual meet, maybe.
Yeah.
If I pay enough.
Hey, I almost got that $1,000 from what's his name? Vex.
What?
Remember that it was obviously a scam? What's his name? Tommy Vex?
Yeah, didn't you post something about him?
No, all I did was share like a video.
You shared like a Bad Wolves video or something.
Yeah.
And the lead singer, someone made a fake Facebook profile, and it said Tommy Vexed, and it was like, thank you so much for sharing my post. Come see this link.
Well, it's like you've won, and, like you've been randomly selected to win $1,000.
And you were like, could this really be him?
I was like,
don't click on it.
Well, because I wasn't expecting it. Like, I just shared it because it was on my timeline. I didn't share it because I thought I'd win $1,000.
I'm like, yeah, Tommy Vexed is commenting on everyone who shares his posts and is like, you win. You
can have $1,000 of my money. Like,
he could spare it.
Maybe. Yeah, that was weird. That's funny. Who else have you met? Who are some other like band guys you've met?
Gosh,
I've met.
You've really got me on this one. You've met all kinds.
I've met quite a few. Like, and a lot of them are very just like random.
I'm trying to think of even just like.
I don't even think I could remember all of them.
My gosh.
And I've met a lot of small bands that...
Like, I've opened for bands that were bigger that I've gotten to meet. Like, I met Adelita's Way, and then I met Hawthorne Heights. And
that's pretty cool.
That was kind of, like... It was always, like, weird. Like,
really?
Well, like... Just, like, it's surreal. Like, you grew up, like, watching their music videos and listening to them, and then you meet them in real life, and you're like... Oh, like this, he's right there. He's here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey. And I'm just like, hi. And he's like, hey, your band name's funny. And I'm like, thank you.
Didn't you open for Royal Tusk, too?
Yeah.
Weren't they pretty cool? Or
yeah, they were really cool.
Yeah.
And another band that was supposed to be on that show was The Dose. And that's Robert Downey Jr.'s son.
Oh, I remember that.
And they dropped off at the last second, and that lead singer was pissed. Royal Tusk,
really?
He was like really mad that they dropped out. And then I spilled beer on the lead guitarist's pedal board, and I was like, oh shit, like,
Ooh.
I gotta get out of here. And then I like left, and he was like, oh man, somebody spilled beer on my pedal board. And I was like, oh no.
And it was you?
I don't know where you are if you're out there, but I'm sorry that I did that, and whatever damage was caused, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, don't bury yourself here. Don't promise anything.
I'm sorry. Accept
funny.
my apology. This is it.
We know that this podcast has a lot of reach, so.
Well, maybe. Yeah. Now
I wish it had that much
we're
reach.
We're jinxing it now. Now it will get a lot.
I hope it does. I want it to have that much reach. Yeah. Okay. So.
Jay, you've met.
Dude, I've
Tim
met
Tebow.
Yeah.
And I love that story.
Okay.
I can't. You have to remind me. But weren't you like? Didn't you write him a letter?
Uh-huh.
I can't even imagine what was in that.
I was so into that. Like,
you were like.
I did that for Brent Smith too. I wrote a letter.
You were like, he was leaving. Like he came to Billings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he was leaving, and you like missed him, and so you were just like, Tim, Tim.
Yeah,
Tim!
And that worked.
And he came over and took your note.
He was. They didn't allow. They weren't doing any like autographs. Like they said there was going to be no autographs, no photos, no meet and greet or anything like that. It was like a dinner to like raise money for something, and we attended. I was the only one there in a jersey. Everyone else was suit and tie
because it was a Tebow jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a formal dinner that somehow like we got a hookup on and got to go.
Okay.
And yes, and I saw this crowd forming at the end of it toward the front, and I was like, we gotta go up there. So I think he's signing stuff. I think he's like shaking hands and stuff. I don't think he was signing anything, but he was like shaking hands. And so I got up there just on the end of the like area where he was walking out, and he was like shaking hands and stuff, and turns to walk out, and I literally just go, Tim, Tim. At the top of my lungs, and I don't even believe that worked. How often does he hear that, you know? And he turned around and locked eyes with me, and I just stick my hand out to receive a handshake, and he fucking shook my hand, and then I took that letter, and I went like this, and he grabbed the letter, and I was just, and I don't remember what happened after that, but I assume he read
That's
it.
like fan science right there.
Dude.
For all he knows, he could have opened it. It could have said, fuck you, Tim.
It could have, but I don't even remember what it said, but it was just like, I think it just said how like, just big fan, and that he was inspirational and stuff like that.
The Steelers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Thank you for...
I wouldn't even be able to tell you what that thing said, but it was, I just knew.
Like, work on your completion percentage, but you're doing great.
and sorry about Peyton Manning, even though that hadn't happened yet.
Sorry you got traded to the Jets.
Yeah.
Didn't he say that recently?
I don't know. But, yeah, that was a good one. I didn't technically meet him. I shook his hand, but
that counts.
I got to meet, I
just get fist bumps.
Mm-hmm. I got to meet Shinedown, and I did the same thing. I wrote a letter.
Gave him a letter, and then he go, I'm going to put this in my pocket.
He did. He put it right in his pocket, and I thought that was really cool. But the reason... Okay, so let me explain the reason I write these letters. I don't do it anymore, but I did. Because I knew I wouldn't have the chance to tell them everything I wanted to tell them. So I was like... Like, I didn't know there wasn't going to be a meet and greet for the Tebow thing when I wrote it.
Right.
But I still got the chance to give him that letter, which was awesome. But it was just like one of those things. I knew if it was going to be that, it was just going to be a handshake, maybe a picture, and then you're out the door. So it's like, I figure, okay, I'm going to tell my favorite band, one of my favorite singers of one of my favorite bands who inspired me to write music and like be the singer I am. I got to tell him that. I got to tell him, dude, you inspired me. And I couldn't do that just like in a line, holding up the whole line. So I was like, here's a letter,
right,
telling you all that stuff. So that was, never. It's not like I had him write me back or anything like that. And for all I know,
he didn't pen pal you.
Nah.
Oh.
And for all I know, he never read it. But I like to think he did.
I think he did.
I think he did
would
too.
Do that.
He
I
put
think Tebow would do that.
Put it in his pocket.
There's other guys. Pete probably wouldn't have.
No, Pete would have.
Pete would have been like.
How do you think he's dealing with all this Corona stuff? Because isn't he a germaphobe?
Pete's a germaphobe? Oh, yeah.
That's why I thought he bumped
fist bumped me.
Yeah.
Could you imagine where he's at now?
Oh, dude, he's probably.
He's probably like air fiving people.
Yeah.
High five through the air.
They're doing virtual band practice.
Probably. He probably. They seem like they're so like introverted. They probably love it.
Oh, that's true.
Who knows? Like, let's write another album.
I'm trying to think of who else I've met. I met Egypt Central. That was cool. Not a lot of people know who they are.
I know of them.
Yeah. 2 Cents was a really cool band that I met.
Didn't you meet the guitar player from Drowning Pool?
I did. I met CJ Pierce. I've met one of the singers and like the synthesizer guy from Mushroom Head.
Nice. Did you meet Wayne Static?
No, but I fist bumped him.
Oh, nice.
Which was cool.
Didn't David Draymond like look at you?
Yeah.
And point at you?
Yeah, he did. That was on. I can't remember. Oh, because I held up a sign. I was like right in the front row, and I don't remember what the sign said. It was something like "I love Disturbed," or I think it said "I have to meet Disturbed," hoping maybe because they're pretty known for pulling people on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe, and I think it was during Stupefied, and I put up that sign, and he points at me and goes, and that was pretty cool. Like I'll take acknowledgement from.
That's
David
that
Draymond.
band that sings "The Sound of Silence," right?
Yes.
Just kidding.
Indeed.
I'm so sad I didn't go see them when they came to Billings.
It was so good. It was probably the best time I ever
played with them.
Pop Evil. It sucked. They were terrible.
I've heard
Disturbed was awesome.
really bad things about Pop Evil
Dude, they
live.
suck.
But I actually like that band. Like I like some of their songs, but
Yeah, I don't mind some of their songs, but live they suck. I've seen them twice. They suck. And it does not sound anything like the record. And that guy is a terrible frontman. He tries way too hard. Yeah.
you know who was a great frontman and a great singer and just a great guy?
Me?
Yeah, that,
No, I'm just kidding.
but Chad from Nickelback.
Oh my god.
He was like they were really good live.
No, you're right. No.
But he was like, we would just relentlessly like make fun of him, and everyone else does. And
That's
I was
true.
like, oh my god, he is literally this person.
He's the person
He
that we.
literally is the person that everyone like makes fun of him. He's
Yeah.
like talking about just like getting drunk and girls and just all this. He would just like rant in between songs about like, man, I'm out of breath. These songs are wordy and and like there's this pedal we have, and if you hit it, then someone brings us a drink and they had to take it away from me because I'd be like, yes, 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 yes.
That is what he was saying
He
about
said that. He really did.
Oh man, that's funny. You're right. He's like a cardboard cutout of what you would imagine
is.
he is. Yeah.
He's like a actual like caricature of himself,
Yeah.
but he's
I think he just embraced
he
that.
sounds great though.
They did sound really, really good, and he wasn't a bad front man. Like,
What he did worked for them.
sure.
I think that his like whole just like bullshitting and like I don't even know. It was like he was a stand-up comedian. He was just like fucking talking.
And you met the keyboard player from them, right?
Yeah, I did.
Ah,
Yeah,
Daryl, right?
Daryl.
Uh-huh. Tell us about Daryl.
Daryl.
Yeah.
Gonna make me tell the Daryl story?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let's hear that one. This is one of my favorite things.
So remember when we went to the draft?
Mhm.
We watched the NFL draft 2017
At a bar.
at a bar at the Rio. I think it was the Rio.
It was real.
Yeah.
In Billings, Montana.
Yeah, and I think I don't know who was with you. I think you had one or two friends
Mm-hmm.
with you. It might have been Mac.
It was Mac and Jared.
So yeah, and I sat on the left because we're at the bar, just like facing the TV. I sat on the left, and then it was you, and then it was Mac, and then it was Jared, and some guy,
Just some guy sitting
just
at the
some
bar.
guy who's sitting next to me,
Older guy.
older guy, like I don't know, 60 something like that.
He looked like he...
65.
Yeah.
Gray hair.
Didn't he say he fought in a war?
He did. Yeah, we'll get to it.
What war?
The Vietnam War.
There's no way.
Yeah, he wasn't old enough for that.
Unless he was like 10.
But he said that he dove 10 feet under the dark water to save a cockpit who fallen out of his plane and brought him up to the surface and got a Medal of Honor. And I was like,
this is the same
you're not
guy
coming up on the Medal of Honor database, buddy. I looked it up.
This is the same guy that plays keyboards
For Nickelback.
Nickelback.
Supposedly, yeah.
Okay, continue.
Touring keyboardist / acoustic guitar.
Yeah, touring keyboardist.
Which does...
Not...
Yeah, which is a thing.
Don't worry, guys. The story gets crazier.
Okay, so we're sitting...
The story gets fucking nuts.
We're sitting next to this guy, and I think the Browns drafted first, and Myles Garrett or something like that. And then he was, like, making comments to us about it. He was like, oh, the Browns took that guy. And I'm like, don't talk to us.
Making
like,
small talk, yeah.
I was like, you're a lonely old guy. Like... It was fine. Like, I didn't really care. And I do not remember, I wish I remember how, like, the topic of, like, music got brought up and, like, all that. Because I don't think he knew that we were musicians.
Yeah.
But somehow, he, like, brought it up cleverly that he's the touring keyboardist for Nickelback. And I was like, what? Like...
I'm like, there's not a...
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's too good to be true.
But we're not, like, rude enough to be like, dude, you're a fucking liar. I would tell somebody that now.
Right?
But back then, it was like...
But I would just be like, okay, just prove it. Just prove it, or I don't care. Like, just... Because I'm not going to sit around and, like, if you can't prove it, or if you're, like, weird about that, then why even bring it up?
I think we were kind of just like, oh, okay.
No, you were, like... The funny thing is I was the most gullible. I don't know if it's because I was sitting by him or because I wanted it to be true.
It could be a little both, maybe.
But then it got, like, more, like...
Down the line,
like, Mac was just laughing hysterically, and you're like, I don't know, man. And I'm like, could be. He could
At first, I was definitely like, dude, no fucking way. This guy's nuts. And then he pulled out a picture that was clearly photoshopped.
It was.
Like, not at the time. It was like, well done photoshopped.
It was really well. It was really well done. Like, it was a band photo of Nickelback, but he was, like, at the end.
Yeah.
He was, like, in the band photo.
Like, however it was done, it looked really well done.
And then he's telling us, like, all these stories about Nickelback and, oh, the guys, they call me Papa Daryl. And his name was Daryl Myers, right? Or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You're his friend.
A best friend?
I don't know. But continue the story. It gets crazier and crazier. So he gave you his number or something like that, right?
Yeah. So what happened was, I don't know how he, like, Jedi mind tricked me into this, but I think he basically was like, yeah, and we practice all the time and all this stuff with Nickelback, and I just use a setup at MSUB in the music department. I, like, practice with them via webcam, and I was like, no shit, like, really? Like, and he's like, yeah, do you want to, like, because I think we told him we were musicians at this point. He's like, yeah, do you want to come, like, watch a practice? And I was like, I mean, okay, like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'll go watch a Nickelback practice. Like, and I'm like, then we'll see if this is real.
Yeah.
We'll see if this is real or not.
Didn't he have, like, a fake, like, records on the wall and stuff?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
But, hold on.
Yeah.
Because, he gave me his number, and he's like, yeah, I'm practicing with Nickelback, and we just practice via webcam at MSUB, and you can meet me there, and you can just watch. And I was like, okay, I mean, got nothing else going on? Like, this is kind of cool. Like, if it's not true, then I guess whatever. So then... I think the next day comes, and he calls me, and he's like, so we're going to be having practice, but you want to just, like, hang out first? Like, I got some, like, yard work that we need to do, and I'll pay you for it, and then we'll go over to practice. And I don't know why at the time. I was like, okay, like, I guess. Oh, no, he might have even had me go to his house first, and then he told me we were going to do yard work. So I was, like, already there.
Mm.
And he was like, will you help me with this for a while? Like, I'll pay you for it. And I was like, okay. So, like, here I am at this complete stranger's house doing yard work for money.
I'm waiting for the part when you get molested.
No. I am too. I was waiting for that part too. I'm so glad it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Lesson learned. Like, if someone had caught me before this, it could have easily had happened. Like, what the hell? You were even like, after that first night, you were like laughing so hard because I was trying to like Google him and all this stuff, and you were like, "You're gonna lose your fucking mind. You can't find him. You're losing it over him." And I was like, "I know." So we're doing yard work, and I don't remember what it was. It was like planting flowers, or like mowing, or like moving a bunch of dirt, or just whatever. Like, and I'm like, this guy is just. He's just a lonely guy, and he's got this stuff he needs to get done, and he just wants someone to help him. Like, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, couldn't you just say that?
Right.
Couldn't you just be like, hey, guys, would one of you be interested in, like, doing some yard work with me? I'll pay you for it. Like, that's all you had to do.
But he kept up the charade.
But he kept up this, like, made-up story. Well, maybe made up. This made-up story that he was in Nickelback. But I got to his house, and I'm thinking, like, this is just, like, a little, like average house in the middle of town. Like, it definitely wasn't a new house. Like, and it was really like bare and empty in there. And he was like by himself. And I'm like, wouldn't you be more financially well off? Like, why is it so empty? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, all like, why would you be here by yourself?
Well, like I said, didn't he have like fake like platinum records or something like that on the wall?
Have. I know he definitely was a big Nickelback fan. He definitely was a huge Nickelback fan.
Dude, maybe he was just so fucking like big. You know how like people get like become such big fans of like people, they fall in love with them and then like stalk them and like write them letters and stuff. Maybe that's him.
Could have been him.
But like with Nickelback, he just loves them, and he's like, I'm in their band. Yeah, I play with them. Sometimes I play their videos on the screen, and then I play keyboards, and their songs don't even have keyboards, but now they do.
I mean, some of them might have an acoustic guitar thing, but no keyboards. Yeah. No. So.
And he's just like. What?
And then another thing too is like I would constantly.
Because you know what?
Pick at him. What?
I mean. We all just want to be big rock stars. And apparently he does too.
He really fucking does.
He took that song way too much to heart.
He took it like literally.
Yeah.
He took it as like, oh, I should pretend to be in the band.
You all come into the house, he's like, hey, you want a quesadilla?
How do you remember that?
What?
We did have that.
That's in the song.
I think that's what we had for lunch. It was like some Mexican thing like that.
I thought no, that's in the song. That's why I said that. And he goes, "I want a quesadilla."
He is like the personification.
So now he just eats quesadillas all the time.
Yeah.
Just because
Nickelback told him to eat quesadillas.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
So
it gets even crazier though.
Well, yeah, and I was like, "Can you play some keyboard for me? Like, show me some keyboard, Daryl." And he'd be like, oh, I got my fingers cut, and I got a Band-Aid. And I'm like, okay.
Just lie after lie.
Yeah, all day we did.
And didn't you try and... I remember at one point, did you even say, like, are you in this fucking band or not? And he was like, you don't believe me?
Yeah, he was very, like, butthurt about people not believing that he was in Nickelback. And I'm like, dude, if you were in Nickelback, you wouldn't be so butthurt about it.
Didn't he show you, like, texts from Chad Kroeger?
Yeah, he would pretend that he was going outside and talking on the phone, and he'd come back in and be like, yeah, I was Chad. I was just on the phone with Chad. He's just talking to me about, like, he's gonna come up here and he's gonna go to Bozeman, and like, and he was just telling me about his dad. His dad just passed away, and I was like, oh no, like, my condolences, Chad. So, oh my gosh.
Jump to the really crazy part.
Okay, well, like, we were, he also, like, would tell me, like, you look a lot like Chad's little brother. And I'm like, okay, you know. And that was kind of weird. But so this first day, he's like, yeah, that was Chad, you know, practice is canceled. And I'm thinking, oh.
Convenient.
Okay, how convenient. He's like, yeah, but we got some yard work to finish up here tomorrow, and then practice has been pushed to tomorrow. And I remember at this point I was like,
He's just
I
extorting
just have
you.
to know now. I have to know.
He like caught you into.
So I went the next day like an idiot. Don't try this at home. I went the next day like an idiot, and his girlfriend was gonna come, and like I don't remember what she was doing, but he really thought it would be funny if I pretended to her like I was Chad's little brother. So she shows up, and it's really awkward, and like you can tell there's something up with this lady, and like she's not quite like super normal. He's not really normal, and like it's awkward to meet her.
It's just a nut house.
But she's not like she's coming in with preconceived like suspicions already. I can tell, and she's like suspicious about me and this whole thing. So she's like talking to me, and I meet her, and he introduces me as like whatever his little brother's name was, which was so awkward. And it was not like funny, like haha, just kidding.
It wasn't planned though, right? He didn't like tell you beforehand, did he?
No, he just told me that it would be a funny joke, but I'm like, he's taking this really seriously. So he leaves, and she comes up to me in the hallway and is like, really sorry to hear about your dad passing away. I'm like really sorry. And like she was super like sad and like heartfelt about it, and like really like, and I was like, I'm not that guy. I'm just Justin. I just met this guy, and I'm just helping him do yard work. And she was like, what? She was like, couldn't believe it.
Because he was trying to pull the wool over her eyes.
Yeah, he was using me to keep this Nickelback story going because she was already suspicious. She had already dumped him once because she didn't believe him. So I did get paid, by the way. But anyway, so she's pissed. And then he was mad at me because I never should have left you two alone and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. And they leave to go get paint. And when they come back, she had dumped him.
Yeah.
Because of me.
Mm-hmm.
And he is pissed. He's like just like complaining to me like, oh, she dumped me, and if we wouldn't have messed this up, she'd have believed it, and just like thing after thing. And I'm like, well, how'd you meet her? He's like, yeah, I met her at the liquor store, and I told her I was in Nickelback. And I was like,
so this is how he
the
just...
whole thing has been built on Nickelback. Your life is built on a Nickelback lie.
So, in other words, you helped a crazy person do yard work.
I helped a crazy person do yard work. I got paid, and he got dumped because of me. And also, I had to convince him to not steal stuff from Home Depot. He wanted to steal all these decorative bricks, and I was like, Daryl, we can't do that.
It's like, oh yeah, you're making all this money in fucking Nickelback, and you gotta steal bricks from Home Depot.
And we went to the bank, and he's like, they know I'm in Nickelback. They see the statements. And I was like, oh, okay. Jesus, and then here was what really gets me, is that he said that he was in a Super Bowl halftime show playing keyboard with Aerosmith. And I was like, dude, I watched that, and...
Dude, you probably watched
it. He ain't in there. I was watching it like a freaking detective. I was like, I don't see him. He's not in there. I was like, it was like true crime. Like I was solving this mystery, the case of the Nickelback.
Daryl Myers.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's a ghost.
If that's even his real name.
Yeah, I don't even know. But there's more good stuff.
Oh my God.
Right?
I don't even remember.
Well,
yeah. Okay, yeah. This did have a funny outcome in the end.
Now I'm definitely forgetting one thing of it. So he started losing it because like I didn't want to come over the next day, and of course practice was canceled the second day, and I was trying to get out and come in the third day. So I don't remember if it had been a few days, but he called me and he was like, you know what, I got a proposition for you. Nickelback's going on tour, and they really were. Remember? That's when we saw them. And he's like, and I'm, their keyboardist, and I want you to be my keyboard tech. And I was like, at this point, I was like, Daryl, I will absolutely do that. You just let me know the time and the date and all the information and what I'm getting paid and contracts. You let me know. You send it over to me, and I will be happy to. And he was like, no, you call me, and we'll hang out, and Chad's coming to Bozeman, you should meet us in Bozeman, we're gonna go fish. And I was like, no, you let me know when you're going on tour, and I'll be your keyboard tech, I'll be there for you, Daryl. And he was like, well, I was like, Daryl, I gotta get going, but I'll be your keyboard tech, you just let me know. And then that was the last I ever heard from him.
And then we got the bright idea.
And then for one, we went to Nickelback, and you know who wasn't there?
Daryl.
Wasn't on stage. Daryl wasn't on stage.
Or a single keyboard.
I was like, where's Daryl?
Not
Where's a single fifth person in Nickelback? I don't see him. So, we got the bright idea to go on over to the dollar store, grab a little,
just a card,
and write a little, nice, like, you're fired from Nickelback, Daryl, from Chad.
Yeah, I don't remember what all it said.
I don't remember. It was like, since you're not on tour with us, you are fucking fired.
Yeah.
Sincerely, Chad from Nickelback.
I swear it said something else, too. It said some other funny stuff.
Oh, I also had seen him driving in Billings, too, because he had his, like, white whatever car. I don't remember what his car looked like, but I just know it had a sticker on it, and I saw it, and I was like, Nickelback's on tour right now, and you're just driving around town?
Yeah.
So we went to his house, and I gave you the letter, and you ran it to his mailbox, and then you sprinted back.
I could have swore it said, like, fuck you in there,
Fuck
too.
you, yeah, probably did.
Like, by the way, fuck you.
By the way, fuck you.
Can you imagine if I, like, just was like, I'm in Disturbed?
Pretty much.
I'm the backup vocalist for Disturbed.
Pretty
That's
much.
about how crazy
but
that
you
sounds.
went to, like, all this length of, like, photoshopping yourself
and making
into
this
things,
big, like, lie.
and, like, pretending that you were talking to David on the phone, and then being like, oh yeah, all the guys from Disturbed. They call me, Buddy Dakota.
I am
Buddy
friends
Dakota.
with, I do text with Tom Segura. Tom Segura? Comedian? See, he texted me today, right there. Tom Segura. Comedian.
Wow.
Right there. See, he said, he literally said, I had hernia surgery Thursday and then had a vasectomy. Double whammy. Sore as shit, but don't have to pull out anymore. Have a nice weekend. He said that to me. And I responded with, congrats on the snippage. Hope you feel better soon, buddy. See? I'm not lying. That's from Tom Segura.
That's amazing, but after this whole conversation, I'm a little suspicious.
And I also have Bert Kreischer and Chris D'Elia. I'm friends with all of them. They text me on the regular.
But not Chad Kroger.
No.
Really?
No, it's from that Community app. Do you know what Community is?
You actually had me there.
Really?
Yeah, you did.
No, it's not really. I mean, it's them. It actually is them. But it's a mass message to, like, all the fans and stuff. And they do reply sometimes. I've never replied to me. And that's a real text that actually occurred with Tom Segura. But no, it wasn't like
I was gonna say, I kind of feel bad for using Daryl's real name, but we don't know if it is his real name.
I'm not gonna bleep it out.
Make sure you get the bleep button ready.
Oh no, I'm not. It's staying in there.
It might kind of sound like we're saying, like this beep guy, Daryl. No. It might just sound like we're cussing.
Yeah. Oh, Daryl.
Oh, Daryl. I know there's probably one or two things I forgot about that story, but you know what?
I think you covered it.
The moral of the story is, don't do what I did. But if you want to do what I did, you can make some coin and have a great story. But you also run the risk of being a lampshade in an apartment. I could have been a severed head somewhere in a box.
Jesus, especially with the way things are going nowadays. God. That definitely, to any children listening, do not assume anybody is as a keyboardist to any band.
No, don't. Probably more things than that. Just don't believe what you hear.
Yeah.
Don't believe what people say.
Even if they have evidence.
Question everything.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I was questioning, but don't make the mistake of you need to know.
But yeah, definitely question everything. I'm like that with everything anyway.
But the thing is, like I said, you knew he was lying by the way he was going about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now when I look back on it,
Sure.
If it was true, why would you be that upset?
Right.
About people not believing you and just prove it.
Yeah. Oh well. Live and you learn, right?
I mean, I'm not upset about it.
Nah. There's worse things to be upset about. Where are we at in time? Getting pretty close. Anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say? We still got time to kill.
I don't know. What do we got? Music stuff?
Yeah, we covered quite a bit of music stuff. I don't know. Anything you want the fans to know about you?
The fans to know about me?
All the fans?
All the fans?
I'm a fun guy.
A fun guy Kwai. He literally can't say anything now without people making fun of him.
I love it.
Me too.
I
I talk about sports, but I'm kind of bummed out about that right now.
Yeah.
Understandably.
I will say Nuggets did win tonight, so that's pretty
nice. The Timberwolves, my team,
aren't even there.
They're not even there. But the Twins are doing pretty good.
Are they doing good?
They're 10-2 or something last I checked.
I've been paying attention to. I was gonna check the baseball standings today. I forgot. I'll have to check it.
Yeah, you've kept up more on hockey. I don't even.
Hockey and basketball, and then we'll see if we even have a football season. It's still looming.
Interesting. I haven't really.
They're saying that it might happen, but there's still a chance it couldn't. So they're kind of using baseball as the guinea pig.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw one of the teams just quit playing, or something the Marlins.
The Marlins, yeah. They had to suspend their season.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
They're gonna kind of play off the baseball thing and see what happens. But it's still a go as of right now. There's no preseason because they were late to training camp and all that.
It's just weird, you got players that are high-profile players that are just opting out and
Yeah, Broncos right tackle opted out, the highest paid right tackle in the league.
Jeez.
But we don't owe him any money, which is kind of cool.
I guess I didn't even know that until you told me.
Yeah, so we have $30 million in the salary cap.
Who is there to spend it on now?
Well, we can sign Justin Simmons now.
Oh.
We could use that money to sign Justin Simmons. There's some stuff we can do. I don't know. It's not. He didn't even play all last year anyway, so
right.
It's not a big deal. We just plug in somebody else or sign somebody else.
Right.
What's up with the Vikings? How do you think that's going to go this year in Minnesota? It's nice that the Twins are doing good, I guess.
Yeah.
I just know Minnesota's kind of a nut.
Yeah, Minnesota is definitely one of the
nuttier
crazier places. I don't, probably that in Seattle and Chicago.
Doesn't your sister live in Milwaukee, or they live outside?
No, they live in the middle of the state now.
Is Milwaukee kind of nuts?
I'm sure it's more nuts than anything else in Wisconsin, just because it's
bigger, yeah,
and it's an hour north of Chicago.
Yeah,
but where she's at is pretty chill. It's kind of here.
Dude, what do you think of that mayor of Chicago? She looks like a fucking
I don't know what
demon.
Happened to her eyes.
She looks like a zombie.
She does. She really does. She looks like there is literally something wrong with her.
Yeah, she looks like she's possessed by a fucking devil.
She does.
I saw a thing with her, and I was like, what is that thing?
Yeah, for sure.
That's a monster.
You really wonder where, what the things that she says, where did she get all that from?
From her possessed fucking demon that's inside of her. She looks like the Exorcist. I'm waiting for her head to spin around. That. She's fucking, nuts.
And they like her over there in Chicago. They, voted for that. They, thought that she was, their person.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, after all of this shit is over, like this next election cycle with all the governors and whatnot, there's going to be a lot of changes.
Probably.
There's a lot of states, I'm sure, that are fed up with their governors and their senators and stuff. There's going to be a lot of changes.
Probably. It'd be...
Also, here's a thought I had. I don't know if I don't even think I mentioned this on... No, I haven't mentioned this on the podcast, so I want to get your thought on this. How fast... I might have said this to you once, so let's see if... How fast, if Joe Biden wins the presidential seat, how fast does coronavirus just disappear?
Gosh.
Because you know the media... Right. You know the media is not going to want to talk about it and make everything negative. They're going to want to talk about how great things are. The monster's gone.
Yeah, no, you're probably right.
And then nobody's going to fear anymore for coronavirus, and they'll be more willing to go back out because nobody's talking about it. So it's obviously just disappeared, even though it's still there. It's just as much there as it was before.
Right? I mean, that's just
throw
like
your
thing.
masks in the air.
It's the real virus.
We're
it's
free.
The media.
Yeah.
Your mask. That just protect you from everything.
Yeah.
Nothing can get through those things.
Yeah.
When you go outside and you wear that cloth mask and your bandana,
you're free.
You're safe. You are literally...
That's what I'm waiting for, though. Everyone to
safe.
just take, Biden is your president. You're free now. You can be free again.
But then they're like, but just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But little do you know.
Now, give us your guns.
Right?
But now, please turn in all of your guns.
That's not how they do it, though. They got to do it slowly and, come up with some bullshit thing to get everyone to do what they want. No, for sure. It's I've heard that about, the election and Trump and Biden is just, we're just going to make having Trump be your president just life so shitty that you're just going to be sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
That could very well be a strategy.
Well, and then you have all this pedophilia stuff being kind of pushed to the side. Nobody on the media's end is talking about that. That's where social media kind of does have an a good role in the world. People can still talk about it.
But that's true. But like I'm saying, I think big tech and stuff, they're starting to censor way more than they have. And censor free speech and different opinions that aren't the status quo, mainstream opinions. There was a hashtag for save the children or something, and Facebook banned it now.
Which is insane. How is that a bad thing?
Why would you do that? You're just admitting that
there's issues within these high corporations and these politicians and stuff.
I think that they just want everybody to believe that, this stuff's made up. Just don't look at it. Just ignore it.
Because they can literally shape the narrative.
They literally can.
And make you believe what
that's why big tech is so dangerous when Google and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, they're like the whole internet pretty much. And they have all this swinging power to just be a private company and censor whoever they want
and decide what information you get and
it's already
what's free speech and what's not.
Bad enough with who controls the main narrative. It's you can't even have your social media other narratives now. Now it's just gonna be you're not even gonna know what the alternative could be.
It's thought control.
Yeah. It's not even, you don't even have the option now to have choices of what to think or believe. It's what's it going to be in 5, 10, 15 years? Or what's it going to be for kids growing up? It's already probably not that great brainwashing-wise for people younger than us.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's obviously you're still allowed to think, for now at least, you're still allowed to think what you want, but you're not allowed to share your opinion and let the world know unless it's something they want you to believe. Right. If it's something that they don't agree with, you're not allowed to share your opinion about it.
And there's so many people that not only that's what they want, but just so many regular people that just can't handle hearing something that they don't agree with.
That goes against the narrative.
Have the mainstream opinion on anything, then you're basically better off just not even bringing it up. And I think a lot of people feel that way. They just don't even bring up their beliefs about anything because they know if they did, people would like stop liking them and like. But you know, it's only like the crazies that would like not be your friend anymore because of who you voted for.
And the funny thing too is I truly believe the majority of the people in this country either know the media twists things, and they know the government's corrupt.
I think it's but
I think the majority of people just don't fucking care about any of it. But the media makes you believe that the majority does. Like the majority of people believe the narrative that they're pushing, and they believe certain things because they're only promoting those things.
And all you got to do is like go on to Instagram and like look up some of these woke posts, and then look at the comments. And the comments are just like, "This is stupid," and then they have 1 million likes on like that first comment. Like that's what people really think. Like people try to push all this stuff on people. But then you look in the comments section and everyone's like, no, we don't. Like
Whenever I see something that's shared that's like just radical, either way, radical left or radical right, if it's something that they're like, they'll post and be like, this is disgraceful, or this is so crazy that somebody would do this, whether it's, promoting like to distaste of the left or distaste of the right, that's the only type of person that's not the only type of person that's like that, but that's a very small majority of the people. That's not the vast majority,
right,
of whatever party that is.
Well, I mean, and that's the people that are speaking loud and like actually posting and doing a lot of this kind of stuff are the like extreme people.
Yeah, well, you're never gonna see
average people aren't just like, hey.
Yeah, and you're never gonna see. Yeah, exactly. You're never gonna see like an average person's thing go viral because it's the average thought. It's something that everyone thinks. When it's something that's just insane, that's the stuff that gets shared around the world and that everyone sees.
The stuff we can be outraged about.
Yeah, not the normal stuff that people think. Because why would you share something that is just normal?
Right.
You know
what
I mean?
kind of effect does that have on people?
Exactly. That's true. Like, no, that's true. Like, that could definitely change.
Like, especially young people. Like, it's scary,
True. Well, I think that we're getting close to the end here. I think that's a good stopping point, eh?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Of course.
First band member to be on.
Right.
And then we'll get the other guys on too. So
Rock
I'm going to trickle them in there, space them out a little bit, but
shove them in hard.
Yeah.
Get them in there. I want to see Lucas. I want to see Aaron. I want to see Drew.
Drew. Yeah. So show August 22nd. Tap in. Come check us out. If you're a fan of the band, like this podcast. If you're a fan of this podcast, go like the band. We'll do a little cross promotion there.
Cutthroat.
And what else? Please be sure to like this video or the audio on Spotify. Share it, subscribe, do all that. And especially if you're a fan of the band, we'll have the other guys on here too. So make sure to keep up and check those out. And don't forget, life's a garden. Dig it.